Good Sunday morning, everyone. So, I've been a bit busy this last few days, and I also wanted to not forget to get on here and share my experience about going to the gathering number 3 at Isee Church in Isee Church in Cemetery Street in Launceston. It's across the road from the commercial, and it was Thursday night, and it's given me a few days to reflect on my experience, because as with the other 2 Christian gathering experiences I've had in this past 2 weeks, Bible study 2 Tuesdays ago, or 2 Tuesdays on Tuesday, and church last Sunday, I needed a bit of time just to reflect on it and make sure that I wasn't getting on here spilling nonsense and saying things that were inaccurate to my authenticity towards how I experienced it and felt during the whole ordeal, and I've got to admit, I was skeptical within 5 minutes of being there, because the music was just so loud. Everyone else seemed to have a different vibe and a different energy. To me, they were jumping and partying, and everyone was so ecstatic to be there. And although visually, I was seeing people happy and everyone was laughing and talking and cuddling, and it was a great environment. It just takes a while for me to adjust to environments like that when I'm not used to being in them. Overall, once I calmed down, I was obviously there with people I knew. Luke Streets and Vossi were there, and Lowy eventually come. I seen Chris Langer there and his friends and family. And once I realised again that I was in a space that was safe, and there was people there that I did know and I had good rapport and relationships with, I settled in, and we found a space to stand and listen to the music, and thankfully the lyrics were up on a big screen so I could read them while they were being sung. And all these experiences, they're new to me, and I've got to be honest, I still struggle to accept how happy I become after I'm there for a while. And I don't know, Christianity has been doing this for a long time. Church gatherings and Christians coming together and worshipping Jesus and all these things. They've been doing it for many, 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 many years. So they have a system, that works. And I was, again, compelled to stay, even though I didn't feel it when I first got there, because the music was so loud. I didn't know the music. I'd never heard the songs. And everyone else was jumping around like they were in a nightclub, like they were so excited to be there, and they were front of the stage. And it was just so, like I said, visually, it was striking. It was amazing to see. Because I actually said to Luke, I said, mate, those 250, 300 people at the front are partying harder than people I've seen in nightclubs taking alcohol and other substances when their favourite songs come on. It was extraordinary. To see young and old people jumping around, dancing in the name of Jesus and Christianity, it just made me realise how, my whole life I had all these powerful emotions about the wrong things. I had all these so deeply embedded feelings and emotion about the wrong things. And now I'm seeing these people here, it just made me realise, once I settled down and relaxed in the environment, I started bopping and weaving, and don't worry, the hands haven't come up yet, but seeing everyone just, I must have been, I was the only uncomfortable person in that room. And once I become comfortable, I become so happy. I won't lie. And it's still weird for me. I still haven't got that conviction that everyone else in that room had. And I'm not saying I don't have that belief. I believe we have a creator. I believe in Jesus' resurrection. I believe in a lot of things. I'm just not convicted like these other people who are deep believing Christians. And trust me, I'll get there. I'm reading and filling in my study Bible, and I couldn't make it to church today because we travelled, myself and Mitchell and Lily, my daughter, travelled to Hobart last night to support everyone boxing at the event in North Hobart. And I only woke up not long ago, so I wasn't able to make it this morning. But I'll be at Bible study Tuesday and I'll be at church next Sunday. But yeah, I know I'm going to have that conviction eventually if I keep following this path and I keep reading the Bible and I keep learning scripture and I keep putting myself in unfamiliar, uncomfortable situations, namely church, the gathering at Isee Church on Thursday night, it was awesome. And yeah, I just keep pursuing my faith. I want to share with everyone that Loie and I have discussed in depth about myself getting baptised before my fight on November 15th. And, I actually can't wait. And, it's, again, it's daunting. I don't envy me because I don't know much about it. I'm just learning everything, and I don't know, like it's all still very daunting to me, but this is the thing I want to emphasize. No matter how I feel when Loie and Streetsy and Vossi and all these great men are inviting me and guiding me to these spaces, into these spaces and these places to experience Christ and Jesus and all these things, once I relax and I'm open-minded and I'm not sitting there with all my old beliefs flooding through my mind and my heart, and I don't want to, I feel uncomfortable. Once that all dissipates, I'm sitting there, and when I feel myself surrounded by good energy and I see people happy and joyful, and that's what it does to me. It makes me feel happy and joyful, and I start listening to what's being sung. I start listening to the words people are saying, and you can't help, well, I can't help but feel different. That's powerful, because I've felt the same way my whole life. And when you're someone that can go from being here at home and feeling a certain way, let's just put it that way, feeling a certain way, and the only way that I feel any different is when I leave the house. I feel worse than I feel in here. Then when I get inside a shop, I feel worse inside that shop. When I get to the gym, I feel worse again, because I'm in an environment where anyone can come in there. And the same goes at church, but like most people that are in these spaces that I'm being taken to, they're there for the right reasons. They're not there to cause arguments or nitpick at people for things they may or may not have done. They are there to support those who are there in the belief of Christ. And that for me removes all the fears and doubts and concerns about everyday life that I've lived with my entire life. Now, people may find that aesthetic. They may think, oh, what? So you think you go to church, everything just gets washed away? In my mind it is. My emotions, no. My feelings, my shame and my guilt and my remorse for all the things I've done, absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm talking about my personal feelings about being there. The pressures and the weight of the life I've lived, it goes away, because I realise I'm in a space that is supportive of my changes. They are supportive of me being there. They actually want me to be there. That's the big thing that I want to really stress today in this video. I can sit here and say, yeah, maybe I did glance around and, see some people looking at me like, I don't know, like I can catastrophize things because that's what I've done my whole life. But the reality is this: once I smiled at them, and I'm not a great smiler if I don't know you, so once I smile at them, they would smile back, or they would nod at me, or, some people literally come up and introduce themselves to me, and that is powerful, because that is not the world I come from. That is not the life I've lived. They are not the experiences I've had. I've explained in other videos that it's a shitty way to live. When you live the way I've lived, it's the worst way you can live. Walking around, getting around, living life, thinking that everyone hates you, hating everyone that you don't know, just because you don't know them and you think they know you, or you think they know things you've done, or you know what I mean? Like it's a shit way to live. And I can't stress how happy I was when I left that place, the Isee church on Thursday night after gathering 3, because as I said, I've seen several people. I went with several people I know, and I've seen several people that I do know, and everyone was just so happy and content, and you know, we all converged there in the name of Jesus and Christianity, but yet everyone was so, like, it wasn't like everyone was just tunnel vision, don't worry about the person next to you. You know, people were just so happy and joyful. That's what I'm trying to get across here. I'm not used to that. I come from households as a young person, and sadly because of myself as an older person, middle-aged and older person, where your environment's toxic, where you can be saying to someone you love them and respect them and would do anything for them in one breath, and in the next breath, you're doing drugs, you're gambling, you're drinking excessively, you're not answering your phone, you're late for appointments, you don't rock up for special events, you leave special events because of other issues, like, you know, you're actually not grounded in the things that you say you love. Now, seeing 700 plus people at that event, I actually felt bad getting my phone out to record, because I stood there for 45 minutes before I even went for my phone once, because I did not see another person with their phone in their hand. That's unheard of. That is unheard of. Let's be honest. You can go to kids' school events. You can go Anzac Day marches. You can go sites. You can go just about anywhere. And if there's 50 people, let alone 700, the chance of all 700 of you standing there, eyes forward, fully focused, fully attentive and listening and observing and experiencing the experience for what it is, and not sitting there with a phone, taking photos, doing this, doing that. It's unheard of in this day and age. Technology rules. It's taken our attention span. It's lowered our IQ. It's done a lot of things. This night, Thursday night just gone, after 45 minutes, I literally turned to Luke Streets and said, "Mate, can I get my phone out and film?" And he cracked a joke and goes, "Nah, mate, you're not allowed to film in here." And I'm like, and he's like, "No, of course you can." And I was just like, "Yeah, good one." But I got my phone out, and when I started like filming the stage and the stuff that I put on my story, once I stopped filming and then went to my phone and was going to, like, you know, increase the resolution and muck around with the video, I looked back up and just quickly realised, like, that whole 45 minutes I've been standing there, no one else had their phone out. People weren't, you know, on their phones looking up, like mildly paying attention. They were all hands down or hands up or jumping around or dancing or partying, you know, like they were all in the moment. They weren't half in, half out, half foot in the door, half foot out. They were not. Everyone was so united in their belief in Christ that they were just paying full attention and not missing a single second of that event. It was magical, I'm telling you. You don't see that kind of stuff. And for me, I'm not a great example, but I'm an example. I used to go to special events for my own daughter, and I couldn't pay full attention because I was distracted. I was affected by drugs. I had other things going on in my mind that I deemed more important, that I thought overrid my need to stay for the whole school thing or for the whole performance. Or as soon as my daughter would finish, I'd be like, I don't need to be here. That's selfish. When, you know, there is other children, there is other people, there is other performers, and you just come to see your own child and then you're just out the door. In my eyes, that's selfish. If you've got real responsibilities, job, other people you care for in your workspace or just in life in general. If you've got other real responsibilities, that's a different thing. But I didn't. I was choosing not to want to be in these spaces and only be half in, half out. So, pardon me, seeing so many people just so in tune with the environment and the atmosphere and the experience, it's not something, and this isn't just my observation, I'm telling you, well, it is my observation, but like I'm telling you, you must be able to acknowledge that that's not normal. Like, and yeah, I just wanted to share all this, like, and this one will be going on Facebook because this is something I want to make clear too. Especially after driving to Hobart with my daughter last night and then having her sit beside me at the boxing, and any time I mentioned Jesus or God or Christianity, she'd either hit me or make fun of me. So I've just passed that threshold now, I've realised, of caring about whether people want to mock me, ridicule me, make up lies and say, oh, he's only doing this for this reason. Oh, he only wants to be a Christian for that reason. It's like this. I'm not convicted yet. I don't have that conviction in my faith like everyone else in that room most definitely did. But I am convinced, and I spoke to several people at the event about this. When I watched Kent Hovind outline, and I said this in the video that I posted on YouTube weeks ago, when you see anything with an intelligent design, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It can be a chair, it can be a table, it can be a candle, it doesn't, the jumper, it don't matter. If it's intelligently designed, it demands a creator. It's that simple. And anyone that like goes against that, I don't mean to be rude, but you need to go back to school. And it strikes at my heart that it took me 36 years to come to that conclusion myself based off a simple sentence from an intelligent person. Kent Hovind, Dr. Kent Hovind. Hearing him explain it, I sort of just sat back when I was in Thailand and I was like, how is it that my whole life people have tried to, push me towards Jesus and all these things, Christianity and faith and religion, but yet not one of them had the intellectual ability or the academic ability or the vocabulary to make that statement to me. That's no dig at anyone that's tried to, bring me to Christ, but when you're intelligent enough to understand English, and good English, I'm really good at English. My vocabulary is great because I've read 5 dictionaries and 2 thesauruses and taken all the words out of them that I liked the meaning of or liked how they were spelt or thought they would rhyme in music. So yeah, I've learnt a lot of words. So when I heard him say that, I sat there and analysed it myself. If it's got an intelligent design, it demands a creator. And the more I kept saying it to myself, I was just like, sort of looking myself up and down, and I'm like, how did I not understand that? Like, I had to have someone say it to me, and then sit with it for 5 minutes, sort of. I literally got up and I was looking at myself in the mirror, going, like, how did I not, like, it made me feel a bit simple, I won't lie. But here's the thing that I want to stress, because we're only going for 20 minutes. I won't bore you too much, but it's not boring for me. It's actually exhilarating for me. I love, like, Lily just pushed me past that threshold last night. Thanks, Bubba. Yeah, I don't care anymore. It's all good. If you want to make fun of me, that's fine. Like I said, you need to go back to school. You need to read a few dictionaries. But, yeah, for me, I'm just at that point now where I want to share what I believe because I do believe it. I'm convinced. And I think I'm about this far away from having conviction because that was my biggest thing, is that the people close to me made me feel silly and angry even when they would make fun of me for talking about things. But now I'm just like, it's fine. I don't mind. Everyone has their own free will. God give us that. And everyone has their own moral compass. God give us that. Or we create it as well ourselves, some people. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I strongly encourage other people to be open-minded. For one, go to church, go to a Bible study, go to these gatherings of Christians, And before you let your emotions and your inbuilt systems override you to leave because you don't like the music, you don't like what you're seeing or feeling or hearing because you're not used to those environments, which is exactly what I experience when I'm at church, Bible study, or these big gatherings. I'm sitting there going, this is not for me. This is not where I belong. This is not something I've ever done. This feels weird. I feel weird. People are looking at me funny. I have all these inbuilt mechanisms that make me have these inbuilt responses come over me. And the only thing that keeps me there is my free will. Because I'm like, would I rather be at home thinking about this or doing that, or would I rather be here experiencing new things around good people, around people that are so happy, so vibrant, and so excited and in love to be here? Absolutely. When I have to put it like that to myself, I'm like, would you rather go home and isolate yourself and be trapped in your own thoughts and doing other things, or would you rather be here experiencing this with other people? It's a pretty simple answer for me. But like I said, I really encourage other people to go down this path. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, as people have called me, oh, you're going to be a Bible basher. No, I'm not. I'm seriously giving you some great advice here, and I'm no expert. Let's get that straight. I can't quote one full piece of scripture yet, so, and I wouldn't try to make myself look silly, but I'm learning, I'm reading, trust me. But here's the thing. Anyone that knows me, like really knows me, knew me, I should say, they'll tell you right now, I was the most hard to deal with, know-it-all, dogmatic, selfish, closed-minded, black and white individual you could come across when it come to me, when it come to my feelings, my beliefs, the things that I thought and lived by. I couldn't be told. I'm 36. Like, I didn't just come to these conclusions overnight. I lived a very bad life for a very long time. And once I heard that Kent Hovind say that, I sort of just sat there and thought, how did I believe, because I was taught it, mind you, I didn't just come up with that myself either. I didn't just think, oh, we evolved from monkeys. And then if you don't believe that, oh, well, we come from the Big Bang in space. You were taught those things. I was taught those things in school. In what I thought, intelligent adult that you ask, unless they're a God-loving Christian, they're going to tell you, oh, don't you know about evolution? Don't you know about the Big Bang Theory? Don't you know about this, that, the other? They are retarded. Those theories, because that's all they are, theories, are retarded. Unproven by science, never seem to eventuate in real life or a tested environment. It's not scientific. It's a theory. So when I heard that, it changed my whole perspective on the way I'd been living. It changed everything, because I was just like, how could I be so blind to something so clear? Like, intelligent design demands a creator. I won't say it again, but like, come on, use your brains. Now, I just want to thank everyone that has taken me down, helped me down this path as well, and guided me, like, because, you know, all these men have shown me a different side to life in a 2-week period. That's the crazy thing, is that in the last 2 weeks I've been to one Bible study, one church session, and one Christian gathering at the Isee church. I met a pastor. I met Dan Hansey, who ran the gathering number 3 at Isee church. And these experiences, like I said, all they've done is, I think, like, on top of Lily making fun of me last night, thanks again, Bubba, I think as I keep meeting people and hearing their words and hearing their experiences and their love of Christ and all these things, their energy rubs off on me. It makes me realise that I surrounded myself my entire life with people that done nothing but use swear words, done nothing but put other people down, done nothing but threaten, get aggressive and get violent if need be, done drugs excessively, done alcohol excessively, done crime excessively, prison, detention centres, police, all bad things, all things that rub off on you and make you who you are. Now, this is 25 minutes, I know I said 20. This is one thing that I've been able to establish really easily by looking at other people's Facebooks that still live that life and still want to be those people and they think that they enjoy that life. It's not that I see through it. I know how it feels to be that young man or that young woman, not a young woman, but you know what I mean. I know how it feels to be that young person or middle-aged person going in and out of custody, struggling out here with drug addiction, gambling, insecurities, fears for your safety. It's a horrible feeling. Horrible. And I promise you, you can't live like that without drugs. I promise you. Try it. Just try it. Try and spend 5 to 8 days off the amphetamines and then go to your drug dealer's house and sit there and see how long you can sit there while people are coming in and out of there with guns and knives and bats and cars pulling up left, right and centre and doors getting slammed. You think you're paranoid when you're on drugs. Mate, wait till you're straight. You can't live in those environments when you're straight because you'll go crazy. You think you go crazy on drugs? Try doing it straight. Being surrounded by other people on drugs that are unstable, that are unpredictable, that are not talking sense. And you're sitting there thinking, these people are nuts. Like, trust me, just try it. And then you'll understand why you remain in that cycle of drug addiction. Because it's the environment you put yourself in. It's the people you surround yourself with. You can't be around them otherwise because you wouldn't cope. Trust me. I'm someone that can run, climb, swim, fight, you name it. I still would not choose to be in a room full of drug addicts. Do you know why? Because you can't turn your back on them. You can't look down, let alone look right or look behind you because you're too busy looking at making sure you can see everything that's going on in the room. Horrible way to live. Horrible. And I swear it ages you. Like, mentally, emotionally, physically, it does something to you. Because the way I feel now, that no one comes through my door that uses drugs. No one is coming through here carrying guns. And I'm not going to other people's houses where there's the risk of people rocking up that I may have to have altercations with. I do not put myself in environments where I may have to go back to being the version of myself that I never want to be again. And for that reason, I feel amazing. Like, I can't tell you how good it feels to be like that burden to be off your shoulder. And I put it there, I don't want to misconstrue this part. They were my choices that led me down that road that made me feel that way. Same as it is now my choices and the path that I'm walking down now that has me feeling this way. Big smile. But yeah, I just can't emphasize or stress enough how good this whole process has been. And we're 2 weeks in. Like, yes, I've been saying that I believe in God and Jesus' resurrection and the Bible and all these things for about 12 weeks now, since I was in Thailand. But this last 2 weeks has been the most compelling. Going to church, going to the Bible study and going to the gathering at Isee Church on Thursday night. They were incredible experiences that have, I can't say I'm convicted yet and have that conviction that everyone in that room did, but I'm getting there. But I am convinced beyond reverse. There is nothing anyone's going to say to make me think anything different to what I'm sitting here saying right now. So I want to wish you all an amazing Sunday and really stress to you how good I feel, how amazing this journey's been in such a short period of time, and the pride and happiness that it instills in me when I'm around people that are all there for the same reason, a good reason, a God-loving reason. It's powerful. I don't care what anyone says anymore. Like, I'm telling you, it's powerful. So, have a great Sunday, everyone, and God bless, and be safe.